Hello and welcome to our first virtual bus tour. I'm Ed Lee, CEO at Habitat of Greater Cincinnati. We have some fun updates to share with you and hope you will enjoy this deep dive into two of the neighborhoods where Habitat Greater Cincinnati has a very large presence. This is an exciting time for all of us at Habitat Greater Cincinnati. I'm sure you have all seen the news of the incredible gift from Mackenzie Scott, billionaire philanthropist and author. We are still wrapping our heads around the magnitude of this gift and the generosity of Ms. Scott. We didn't apply for this gift, and it comes to us completely unrestricted, which is amazing. A gift like this is almost unheard of, and so much so that I literally cried when receiving the news. We know this gift will be transformational and have formed a committee to determine how best to steward it as we seek to be a catalyst to have greater impact in the Greater Cincinnati community. When I retire at the end of the year, I know that we will have resources and an amazing team of people to carry out our strategic long-term plan and vision. Last month marked 2 years since the beginning of the pandemic. And this time we have continued to create homeownership opportunities for families all over the Greater Cincinnati area. I'm incredibly proud of our amazing team at Habitat Greater Cincinnati and of you, volunteers, homeowners, and supporters for making it happen. Many Habitat homeowners are frontline staff in healthcare, education, and other vital services, and they play a critical role in our community, especially during the pandemic. I want to thank them especially for their hard work. The last 2 years have shown the importance of affordable workforce housing within our communities. In 2021, 13 families partnered with Habitat to become first-time homeowners. 13 families work side by side with volunteers to build their homes. 13 families are set up for success by going through Financial Peace University and home maintenance classes. 13 families started the new year with a strong foundation for themselves and their families. We're currently finishing up homes in the West End and in West College Hill, where we're standing today. Here in West College Hill, we just closed on 2 homes on 6th Avenue, and we're standing here on 3rd, and we have that home under construction behind us. This makes about 12 houses that we completed in this community over the last 3 or 4 years, and nearly 20 or plus homes in West College Hill that Habitat has built over the years. We're deeply in a very deep partnership with Springfield Township, Hamilton County Community Development, and others in the community, and trying to bring affordable home ownership back to this community. We're also very active in the West End of Cincinnati, and this is a very important project to us. We have 3 historic rehabs under construction on Bay Miller at Finley in the West End. As you know, FC Cincinnati recently completed their new soccer stadium in the West End, which brings tremendous amounts of dollars for redevelopment and revitalization in the West End. The West End is a historic community, a community that's rich with black history, and it has suffered from a lack of investment over the years. With that new investment coming, there's lots of concern about affordable homeownership staying in the community, and Habitat's proud to partner with the Port, with Seven Hills Neighborhood House, and others to make 3 affordable homeownership units possible on Bay Miller Street. We'll dedicate those houses in about a month, so I invite you to watch for our social media announcements on that and come down and check that out, as well as come play with us at Rock the Block on May 14th. And as we go forward in this year, we're beginning homes in Evanston. We have a foundation in on Jonathan Street in Evanston, and have plans for 7 more builds in Evanston coming up. We'll also continue to rehab affordable historic rehabs in Lower Price Hill, and we're kicking off 4 projects in Lockland this summer, and you'll hear more about that very soon, as well as we're returning to Fairfield Township with 2 new builds in Fairfield Township. All of these neighborhoods have existing Habitat homeowners, and we're excited to continue to build in these communities. This is consistent with our strategy to cluster our builds and really focus on neighborhoods to try to make a deeper difference where we're building houses. We've been building houses across this tri-state for 36 years. And for many of those years, we built those one-off. We built one in this neighborhood, one in that neighborhood. And about 5 or 6 years ago, we really changed our strategy to focus on neighborhoods and clustering our builds. So we're not just changing lives, individual lives for the Habitat homeowners, but we begin to change a block, change a street, and change a community. And that's what we're trying to do by concentrating our builds in particular neighborhoods. All in partnership with those neighborhoods, I might add. Over the last year, the Habitat for Humanity board has created a new 5-year strategic plan. This plan is the guiding light for our organization and is the roadmap for how we will get there over the next 5 years. We have 5 pillars that guide us in that strategic plan. The first is the biggest one, and it's about production. We will build and preserve and finance affordable home ownership opportunities that fit our community needs at scale. 5 years from now, we hope to be serving a family a day or 365 families a year through all of our programs. We will continue to build, we will continue to rehab, but we will grow our repair program significantly so that we are sustaining home ownership for families across the tri-state. And we will add new programs to the mix as well to focus on extending classes out that we offer Habitat homeowners today to the general public, as well as providing some coaching and counseling for folks that are on a journey to improve their credit rating so that they can end up getting a mortgage through a financial institution. The second strategic choice that we've made is we'll become a trustworthy leadership voice and advocate for affordable housing in Greater Cincinnati, especially home ownership. We need to elevate our voice. We've been busy in this community for 36 years, but we have not really taken our seat at the table to be a louder voice, to influence policies and funding decisions in our community to impact more home ownership across the tri-state. If we're going to serve 365 families a year, we've got to create more financial resources, and that's our third area of focus, is we will expand our financial resources and resources to scale our impact on affordable housing needs. This will include leveraging things that we're already doing, but in particular we will need to grow our fundraising efforts, and we will continue to leverage our restores and what they deliver to us through the 5 locations scattered across the tri-state. Our fourth strategy or focus area is we will maximize our community engagement. We will continue to work the way that I described earlier, and that we will focus on communities that want to partner with us so that we can contribute through affordable home ownership, building houses and maintaining houses, repairing houses. We will contribute to bigger efforts within those communities. And finally, to do all this, we will need to invest in people. We'll invest in our staff and in our volunteers. And for our staff, we will work with them to engage them in fulfilling equitable and mission-focused work. And I can tell you diversity, equity, inclusion is a big part of that strategy going forward. We want to become a much more diverse organization, and we want to be an organization that's inclusive and welcomes everybody to come and participate with Habitat as their authentic self. The strategic plan is ambitious, but we know that we are in the best position we have ever been to carry it out. We have a great team of bright, committed individuals and dedicated volunteers. Financially, we have consistent mortgage payments from grateful homeowners. We have thriving restores. We have amazing philanthropic partners such as Procter & Gamble, Ohio National Financial Services, and our faith coalitions, and hundreds of generous and loyal individuals and donors. Importantly, we're able to do this work because of a core group of committed supporters who give over and over again. Together, we can build a world where everyone has a decent and affordable place to call home. Thank you for joining us today to learn a little bit more about the impact Habitat is making in Lockland and Lower Price Hill. And please feel free to reach out to any of us if you have questions or feedback. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Emily, Philanthropy Officer here at Habitat for Humanity of Greater Cincinnati.
And
And I'm Ron, the volunteer coordinator, and we'll be your guides.
Thank you for joining us on this virtual bus tour. People in your community and all over the world partner with Habitat for Humanity to build or improve a place that they can call home. Habitat homeowners help to build their homes alongside volunteers and pay an affordable mortgage. With your help, Habitat homeowners achieve the strength, stability, and self-reliance that they need to build a better life for themselves and their families.
In 2021, we built or rehabbed 13 homes and helped 24 low-income homeowners stay safe in their homes through our critical home repair program. We completed homes from the West End neighborhood near downtown all the way to Oxford. We are on track to build or rehab 15 homes this fiscal year. Come with us to the neighborhood of Lockland, where we will begin building this spring.
The Village of Lockland is a small incorporated village in Hamilton County, north of Cincinnati. It was built on the Miami-Erie Canal and was a thriving industrial town in the turn of the century. Habitat's ties to Lockland go back to 1989, when the Mill Creek Habitat affiliate built their first home. In 2013, Mill Creek Habitat merged with other affiliates in the area to form today's Habitat for Humanity of Greater Cincinnati. Since 1989, over 40 families have partnered with Habitat to build their homes in Lockland. Lockland, a historically working-class neighborhood, borders the affluent neighborhood of Wyoming. Prior to Habitat partnering with Lockland, the mayor told our CEO, Ed Lee, that crossing the train tracks from Wyoming to Lockland highlighted the wealth disparities between the two neighborhoods. However, since Habitat's partnering, the neighborhood has more of a cohesive feel, and visitors are welcomed to the village with the sight of Habitat homes. Our partnership with the Village of Lockland reinforces their effort to create healthy communities. We know that healthy communities include housing for all incomes. Habitat builds workforce housing, an important piece of this housing puzzle.
Hi, I'm Krista Bloom, Village Administrator for the Village of Lockland. Lockland was plotted in 1828 on the banks of the Miami-Erie Canal, which now, what you would know as I-75, the Lockland split there at I-75, that used to be the Miami-Erie Canal. So Lockland was a booming industrial town because of its access to that canal. Lockland is a very small town. We're 1.23 square miles. So we like to say we're 1 square mile, about 3,500 people in our population. You know, we're on the uptick of coming back from what was a dormant period of years for about 20 years where nothing really happened here, and really excited about future economic development and projects that are happening here currently. Lockland's partnership with Habitat has been for many years now. It's overall been the most positive experience that we could have. And we do get a lot of deteriorated properties that become available to the village from the county. And we always take advantage of that and make sure that we get a hold of those parcels, and so therefore we can offer them to Habitat to build a new productive home on that site. It's a positive thing to take that vacant property and put, you know, Habitat to assist and build a home there to bring another family into the community. And I think Habitat's unique too, because I love the fact that they're so engaged with the actual family who's buying the house. We love that, and we always try to attend the ceremonies when they move into their new houses, because it's something we want to celebrate and we're very proud of. When families take ownership of where they live, they do become a stable part of the community and an active member of the community. And that's what we're here for, and that's what we want to bring back here, is that sense of community and a place to belong.
My name is Andre White, and I'm a Habitat for Humanity homeowner. I decided to apply for Habitat for Humanity after my aunt saw it on the news. There was a women's build in Colerain Township, and that's where I was residing at the time. So she reached out to me and told me to apply, so I did. Since becoming a homeowner, life has been amazing. I find myself more at peace. I've been able to reach my goals after becoming a homeowner. My children have their own room, their own yard. They're able to ride their bikes, walk down through the neighborhood. I feel more financially secure owning a home, so I'm able to take that vacation with them now. I have two daughters. Amani is 16 and Kyla is almost 14. They love the house. Having their own space for teenage girls is very important. It's amazing to watch them mature while living in a stable environment. I've seen more of their personality come to life by living in their own home. They're just growing up. The next 5 years for me looks like graduating from grad school, settling down in my career, and just creating more memories with my children. My grad program is a master's in special education. I hope to become an intervention specialist. I have two major differences. One is maintenance. So if there's something that needs to be fixed, I can fix it myself, or I can choose who I want to come and do the maintenance. I no longer have to wait to get on someone's schedule. The other thing for me is being able to be creative. So I can paint the walls, change the wallpapers, change the flooring, and hang as many things as I want to without any repercussions. I love the Village of Lockland. I was able to meet the mayor at my dedication. He was very welcoming. Also, the church across the street from me has been a help themselves. During the pandemic, they sent over food boxes. They've prayed for us at my kickoff ceremony, so I feel very included and wanted. I've been to one of the board meetings here at the Village of Lockland to see all the new things that they're planning on doing for the community. I love living next to Habitat neighbors because I know they've been through the same process. They understand the journey that it took to get here. And because we've all been through the same process, we understand what it means to take care of our homes, we value our homes, and we also work together if there's anything that each other needs. When you're renting, your rent can increase at any given time. When you're a homeowner, you know what your mortgage is going to be, and that helps for your budget. Taking the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace course has taught me a lot, and I still apply those same values even though I have the house now. I have lots of encouraging words for homeowners. Do it. Apply. It is a process, but trust the process. You'll thank yourself later.
This build season, we will build 4 new build homes in Lockland in partnership with the Port Authority and the Village of Lockland.
But did you know that we also rehab historic homes? We have 5 historic rehabs in Lower Price Hill coming up soon. Come with us as we travel down to the Cincinnati neighborhood of Lower Price Hill. This small, historic neighborhood is bordered to the east by Mill Creek and to the west by the steep hill of East Price Hill, and to the south by the Ohio River. Many of the homes in this neighborhood are over 100 years old with beautiful architecture.
Like many of the places we build, Lower Price Hill has experienced generations of disinvestment and many of the buildings laid vacant for years. However, there are exciting changes happening in Lower Price Hill around housing. The neighborhood is booming with activity, preparing new, affordable rental and home ownership opportunities.
These efforts in the community are made possible by engaged resident leaders, community organizations, and city partners.
My name is Holly Dornay, and I'm a site superintendent at Habitat. I've been working for Habitat for Humanity for 4.5 years. I work mainly on our historic rehabs. I have worked in Lower Price Hill, and we started actually building in Lower Price Hill in the late 80s. Our very first historic rehab was in 89. And then we have 3 that we've completed, and then we have 5 more that we'll be finishing. Lower Price Hill is such a nice, tight-knit community. So the area that we're building in, all the houses are within essentially 3 blocks of each other. So our homeowners will be able to create a community within themselves while also being part of the larger Lower Price Hill community. Historic rehabs are so much fun and can be very challenging all at the same time. Historic rehabs tend to take a lot longer than our new builds. We have to do all the demolition work. So we have to start with an empty slate. So once we get all the old stuff out, then we're able to start anew. A lot of times we have a lot of structural repair. These are masonry buildings built in the late 1800s, so we have to do a lot of masonry work. Sometimes we have to replace entire floors, or we just have to shore up buildings. Sometimes we have foundation work. And basically, once we get everything stabilized, so from the ground up, then we're able to come back in and start building essentially a new house inside that historic shell. So we create a more efficient space by insulating the area. We frame the walls to be able to complete new mechanicals, so electrical, HVAC, plumbing, and then drywall. Sometimes we change the layout of the house, sometimes we keep the original layout. But yeah, it's a very long process. These old buildings, they've been around for over 100 years. So the work that Habitat does in terms of making them new again, that they'll go on for at least another 100 years.
Hello, welcome to our home. Hi, I'm Kimberly Thomas, formerly Kimberly Washburn. I have lived in this house since we closed on December 31st, 2019. I applied for Habitat for Humanity because they were restoring 7 homes in the neighborhood, and a good friend talked me into applying back in 2016. It is a great place to quarantine when the whole world closed in March 2020. So when I had to work from home, we had a safe place to work from home. When my daughter had to do school, we had a separate room to do school and work. Most of my meetings happen at this table. Some of Haley's work is on this table. This is my husband. I'm very sentimental about home because we've never had our own home. Even my own family, when I was younger, we always lived in apartments. So I've been experimenting with decorations. This photo right here was given to me back when I was a renter, but I wasn't allowed to hang it up because of the nails. I chose a rehab over a new build because there were no new builds offered in Lower Price Hill. So having a rehab home, I had a choice on the flooring when Habitat got a new vendor, the kitchen counter colors, the carpet colors. I had more of a say. When we first moved in, we started putting stickers on the wall and doing all the things we couldn't do in the apartment. At our dedication ceremony, we got this picture from Habitat for Humanity. It's home is the key. It says, of all the keys to all the locks in all the world, the one that opens my home also opens my heart. When I was younger, we weren't allowed to have animals because most apartment buildings don't let you have dogs unless you have a special condition or if you have extra money to pay. So now that Haley's getting older and showing to be responsible, we got a cat. Since 2019, I've been the Vice President of Lower Price Hill Community Council. And since April 2021, I've been the interim president because the president has taken ill. Before working at Education Matters and Community Matters, I worked at Euler School, which is how I applied for Habitat because Habitat came to Euler School. I'm an Euler parent. I graduated school from Euler. My husband works at the washing well, the laundromat up 2 doors away. So I've been here a while. Before getting this house, we lived 2 doors down since 2013. And before that, I lived at other places in Lower Price Hill. It's my home and I put down roots. Community council is great because often if projects that need support are in jeopardy of being supported, we have to actually go to City Hall and speak for 2 minutes, which I've had a chance to do that one time for LPH Thrives, our new housing project, and that's under construction now. Habitat's coming back to the neighborhood for more homes, and Community Matters is bringing homes. So the construction is great, and we'll have some new neighbors.
Looks like we're at the last stop on the virtual bus tour. Before you go, let's chat with Board Chair Amanda Hill. While Amanda introduces herself, please submit questions by clicking the button below. We will answer questions in a few minutes.
Great. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining our virtual bus tour today. hope you found Ed's words informative, and I also hope you were just inspired by the two stories we heard of our home buyers in Lockland and Lower Price Hill as much as I was, and to see the pride that they have in their homes and in their communities, and even their involvement is just inspiring and really demonstrates the power that Habitat has to transform lives and also to impact generational wealth. So thank you for joining us. My name is Amanda Hill, and I am the board chair for Habitat for Humanity of Greater Cincinnati. I've been on the board for several years, have participated in Rock the Block, have been on builds, and was just really drawn to this organization by how faith-based and the mission that we have with Habitat, and the wonderful home buyers and the wonderful staff. They are just high caliber, high class individuals that are inspiring to be around. So with that, I want to open it up and see if there's questions that I can help answer about the current state of Habitat or the vision that we have for the organization. So let's see. We have a question, which is, how can a family apply for a house? Well, that's exciting. We would love for you to apply for a home. So if you go to our website, which is habitatcincinnati.org, you can read through the guidelines and request an application. Or you can call our main phone number, and that number is 513-621-4147. It really, never fails that, we get a lot of interest in Habitat homes, and, we're really excited when we have new applicants. I should mention that Habitat, contrary to popular belief, people think Habitat is a free home. But the reality is that only about 10% of the cost of a home comes through donations. And the balance of the funding for a home actually comes through a very affordable mortgage that the home buyer is responsible for. But we at Habitat, as you heard in the videos, really spend a lot of time helping our future home buyers understand financial stewardship so that they're ready to take on that mortgage. So we invite you to apply. Check out our website as well. And one of the other special things about Habitat is this partnership that we form with home buyers. That's my dog, sorry. Which is, in addition to taking classes on financial stewardship and home ownership, our home buyers also commit to 250 sweat equity hours, which involves taking classes, building their home, or helping build another Habitat homeowner's home, or even volunteering in one of our restores. So as you consider applying, which is really exciting, I want to make sure you're aware of the requirements that go along with that application as well. Let's see, we got another question coming in. Why was Habitat for Humanity in Greater Cincinnati chosen to receive one of Mackenzie Scott's donations? Well, that's a really great question, and we actually don't know the answer to that. Quite frankly, she and her organization requested a lot of information from the Global Habitat organization, and we're not sure what their selection criteria were, but we are fortunate to have been one of 84 affiliates to receive a portion of her incredible gift to Habitat. And we'd like to think that perhaps our strong track record, the leadership that our organization has had, the impact that it's had in the community was part of the reason why we were chosen, but we don't know for certain. We did not seek this grant out. As Ed mentioned, it came as the most pleasant surprise, but we're really, starting to form a committee who will really think about how do we take great care of this gift, and how do we really maximize the impact in the community with this incredible gift that we have been given. And so as those plans begin to come together, we'll have more to share. Let's see, we have another question, which is, can you tell me more about the repair program and how to apply? The repair program is such a wonderful program, and not as many people know about the repair program. So the repair program is really geared towards military veterans or spouses. So it's our commitment to our nation to help ensure that our veterans have, a well cared for home to live in. You can call our main line. Again, that number is 513-621-4147 for more information. But we will do roughly 30 repairs for veterans this year, helping them with typically, rather significant repairs that they need to live in a warm home, to not have leaks and flooding in their homes, as an example. So we do pretty considerable repairs to ensure that they can remain in the home that they love. Let's see, I see another question coming in. How is Habitat funded is the question. Oh, great question. Well, we have really several sources of funding for Habitat. First, our philanthropic contributions from individuals as well as companies, and even grants also are incredible portion of our funding model. We also earn money to help build houses from sales from our restores. So if you aren't familiar with our Habitat restores, we have 5 of them in the Cincinnati area. And we accept donations for, I would say, larger size household goods, refrigerators, lighting, large furniture, cabinetry are some of the popular items. And we sell those items, and the profit from those items helps go towards building more Habitat homes, which is great. And then the last area that we also earn funding is through our mortgage payments from Habitat homeowners. So the model that we have, actually, as they pay their mortgage, it helps fund the next house that we're able to build for a local homeowner. So those are the 3 sources of our funding. So we'll see if there's any other questions. If not, great questions, by the way. Thank you so much for joining. I think, looks like those are all the questions. We've got to pause. So with that, I think we'll be wrapping up.
Awesome. Thank you, Amanda. And thank you to all of you who joined and participated in our question and answer today. Our efforts here at Habitat for Humanity of Greater Cincinnati wouldn't be possible without all of you. So thank you. As we close here today, I want to remind you all of a few ways that you can support the Habitat mission. First, please shop and donate to our restores. The sales go directly to supporting the work we do here in Greater Cincinnati. Next, we also want to remind you all that we do have a critical home repair program for veterans and surviving spouses. If you or someone you know may qualify and are in need of a home repair, please apply or encourage them to apply. And lastly, please consider making a financial contribution. Your financial support truly helps the families in our area achieve strength, stability, and self-reliance through affordable homeownership. More information on how to connect will be available on the next slide. Again, thank you all for joining. We hope you enjoyed our virtual best tour. See you next time.